This evening, we're privileged to have with us Dan and Damara Andrade, and they are known as the Hitched Apologists. They have a podcast. Looking forward to finding out a little bit more. Welcome. Glad to have you with us today.
Thank you for having us here.
You know, it's going to be interesting this evening to learn a little bit about what you do and so forth. Give us a little background. What got you into apologetics?
So back in 2021, I got really sick with COVID and I was hospitalized. And during the time, I was kind of living a life of a backslidden Christian. And I got sick and they told me at the hospital that I needed to make peace with dying because they didn't think I was going to come out.
Wow.
And so when I was there, I had a lot of prayer happening for me all around the country. And
that's sobering, isn't it?
And so when I got out, I had a long recovery. I had a year of staying at home, and my wife took care of me for a year, and we got to know a lot about each other, and we fell in love with apologetics, and it built our foundations up.
Damara, as this process began for you, I mean, how did you kind of get involved with the whole concept of apologetics? I mean, it sounds like Dan fell in love with it, but how did you fall in love with it too?
Yeah, it was actually the first book that I picked up. It was called Elisa Childers' what is it called?
Another Gospel.
There we go, Another Gospel. And essentially what it was, it's about progressive Christianity. So I picked up that book, I read it, and I absolutely fell in love with apologetics, told him about it, and here we are.
All right, so I assume that you, since it says you're the Hitched Apologist, that you do things together. Tell me, do you do things for parents, or how does that work out?
We do it for anybody. A lot of the stuff like what we're bringing here today is aimed at parents, but we equipped believers, Christians, and everyone just to have a deeper understanding of their faith and broader foundations, and just to be able to give an answer for what they believe.
So you mentioned something about a book. Why don't you show it to us today? Is this something that you use as a guide, or is it something that you guys have written yourselves?
Yeah, so I we got this guide together ourselves. And essentially, we found over 125 sexually explicit books within the Albuquerque public school systems.
Okay.
And these books, contain, sexual acts between teachers, students, rape. You have things like explicit drug use. You have excessive gore. You have excessive violence. I even found a book in there that has bestiality. So this is a huge issue. So it took us about 4 months of getting this book together.
Now, the title of the book is, share it with us.
A Parent's Guide to 125 plus explicit books in Albuquerque public schools.
Okay, now, so you're working to help train parents about things that are out there in the school system that are going to impact and influence their kids.
Yes.
Well, how's the reception in the community been to the book?
Surprisingly, a lot of people are just shocked when they get a hold of this. Oh yeah, like they don't know what's in their child's schools.
So what's the next step? I mean, becoming aware is step one, but then what do you do after you become aware of the things that are actually out there in the community influencing kids?
So what we have been doing is right before the school year ended, we started going to the school board meetings.
Okay.
And actually reading directly out of this book, and we've been reading the most
crazy sections.
Exactly, straight to them and trying to make them react to it, because if they don't have these types of materials in their own libraries at home, but they have it at the school, I mean, it speaks volumes to what they're doing here. As well as they have locks on the computers for children not to access certain sites, but then they have this there for them just to pick off the shelf. So there's an inconsistency in logic and thinking here, and we're just pointing that out. Mm-hmm. And so,
what's the reception been at the school board meetings?
Surprisingly, they just let it keep going on. They're fine with hearing it. They don't care what we're saying. They just let us speak. And what we're trying to do here is get more parents to come and just be that bug in their ear or that stone in their shoe. Just have as many come every week to the school board meeting and just make them tired of it. Mm-hmm. And so we had grandparents show up last meeting, the last one of May, and people are just stepping up now. And as long as if we could get a team to go every school board meeting, which is twice a month, and just have an alternating team and just keep being that bug to them, see some change happen,
Uh-huh. As that's happened, have you seen it catch fire in the community where you've had grandparents or parents who said, hey, this is something that really needs to stop?
Yeah, so that's something that we're working on. So we're taking every opportunity that we can get to get these books out there. And we've even run into substitute teachers who, get a hold of this book and they're like, I didn't know it was this bad in the schools. And they want to see some change too as well.
All right. Now, as you're progressing along through this, how long have you been involved with really going to the school boards with Albuquerque Public Schools and saying, hey, this is a problem? And you said that your basic response from those on the school board has been that they let you talk about it, but they don't do anything about it.
So basically what happened there was we started at the end of April and inside of May, but before that, there were 2 bills that were being tried to be passed in the legislature in this session that were going to protect these materials and not even allow parents to make a complaint about it. While us and our team were able to get many of these guys into the hands of legislators up in Santa Fe, and they were able to kill the 2 bills that were going to protect it. So we were trying to fight it so we'd actually have a chance to speak out against it, which we've been doing since April.
So you've succeeded because this was the long session at the legislature, the 60-day session. It's a much broader field of topics that can be brought forward on bills. Supposedly, 30-day session is only supposed to allow things that are dealing with the budget, although sometimes that doesn't work exactly that way. But this was the big time where there could have been things interjected for basically the next 2 years. So you got to stop. You began going into the school board meetings in April, so you've only had 2 occasions to do that thus far. Do they meet throughout the summer, or is that something that doesn't really happen again until fall?
I think the ones that are in the summer are closed off to the public in public forum. And so it starts up again in August. And this summer, it's the push. We're just trying to get it into the hands of as many parents as they want, as we can actually, so they can be aware and then they can start stepping up and coming with us. And just like I said, forming that team to just go every week.
All right, now if folks are seeing this and saying, wow, I didn't know this was happening here. I mean, we often hear this, it's happening in this location or that location, in another state, another city, another community. But when it becomes your community, it becomes very personal. So if you're in the greater Albuquerque area and you're hearing about this, what's the next step that they could do, Dan or Damara, to get in touch with you?
So what we can do is we offer this guide. If you want one, you can request one from us. And there's something about having a physical copy in your hand and being able to show it to others. And so you can request one from us. You can go to our website at thehitchedapologists.com and fill out the contact form, or you can go to concerned4schoolkids@gmail.com and email us. We'll get you a copy of the book. If not, on our Hitched Apologist website, if you scroll to the bottom to the landing page, there's a free PDF form of it that you can download and see it there.
Okay, so those materials, I think the contact pieces are available for you to look at right there on the screen, and we can maybe touch base on those one more time. As you move toward the fall and the new school year, what is your hope? What's your anticipation of the next step in this drive to get these materials removed?
Yeah, my wish is, like he was saying, to get more parents involved, because essentially they're the first line of defense. These are their kids, and they know their kids better than anybody else.
Right.
So we would just really want and hope and pray that more parents will get involved, grandparents too.
Are all of the books in every library, school library, or some in one and some in another?
So some in one, some in another. There are books that are even in elementary school, unfortunately, elementary, middle school, high school. Books that just should not be there. So we're really pushing for age appropriateness in schools. Again, like he was saying, if we can have locks on computers, surely there could be locks in libraries.
That is interesting, isn't it? Because there's a push to make sure that the kids don't move into some area on the internet that is going to be offensive and inappropriate. You would sure think that there would be restrictions on what they could pick up at their own library on their own campus at school. So, one more time, if folks would like to get information, Dan, share with us again the website and the email for best communication.
So the website will be thehitchedapologist.com, and for the email, it'd be concerned4schoolkids@gmail.com.
All right. That information should be right there on the screen available for you. And of course, today, Don and Damara Andrade are talking to us about some of the things happening right here in the Albuquerque Public Schools with materials that are just offensive and inappropriate and sexually explicit. And so I would encourage you to reach out to them for additional contact information as to how you can plug in to reaching out to the school board in our area. Thank you both for being with us today.
Thank you.
Thank you.